What's up, church? We are back to do another devotion today, and today I want to go over a section of scripture that I think everybody's pretty familiar with. It's Isaiah 40, starting in verse 30, and it says, "Though youths grow weary and tired, and vigorous young men stumble badly, yet those who wait for the Lord will gain new strength. They will mount up with wings like eagles. They will run and not get tired. They will walk and not become weary." This is so full of amazing imagery. I love what Isaiah is trying to say here. See, his audience was the children of Israel, and they were under the constant threat of the Assyrians, who were a mighty and wicked empire that were a dominating influence in the area. And some of the people, although they remained faithful to God, they probably were tempted to think, has God forgotten us? Why are we put in such position of fear and weakness? And so what Isaiah is trying to do is he's trying to encourage them to remember God never forgets anybody, and that God always empowers people even when they least expect it. When they're in the midst of their deepest struggle, God still steps up to empower people. Now, I love this because he uses some imagery with the word youth. He said, though youths grow weary and tired. When you think of a youth, of a young child, all you think about is a ball of energy, running all over the house, never slowing down. Then he says, and vigorous young men stumble badly. When you think of vigorous young men, you think of strength and endurance, how they can just keep going and they can work all day and they have strength that we all wish we still had. He uses those two examples to remind people of those. He says, even though the youths may get tired eventually, and even though these vigorous young men eventually stumble and start to lose their wind, those who wait for the Lord will gain new strength. Right? What he's saying is, when it's God's time to lift you up, when it's God's time to do something amazing in your life or to have you do something amazing, he will give you the strength you need. You will gain new strength. You will gain his strength. You'll be able to mount up on wings like eagles. You'll run and not get tired. They'll walk and not become weary. What he's saying is, when God is ready to use you or to move in your life, nothing's going to slow you down. Nothing's going to steal your strength. Nothing's going to make you get too tired or too weary. God always enables his people to do what he wants to do in their life. God always enables his people to see his majesty, even when things seem to be hopeless. So this is just a great encouragement. He's saying, I know things are bad right now. He's saying, I know you're worried about the Assyrians, and part of the kingdom's already been in captivity. But those of you who have been faithful, remember something. I brought Moses through the Red Sea. I delivered Noah from the flood. And I will deliver you. When it is my time to move powerfully in your life, I'll show up. We need to remember that. No matter what the situation, no matter how abandoned we may feel, and the only reason we feel that way is because the enemy's whispering in our ear. No matter how much he tries to convince us we're abandoned, when God is ready to move, when God is ready to amaze us, when God is ready to use us, we will find new strength. We'll run and we'll not grow weary. We'll be lifted up on wings like eagles because God will be the source of our strength. He'll be the one that lifts us up and the one who gives us success. So listen, whenever you start to struggle, remember one thing. God doesn't forget about anybody. He's just preparing you for the day he's going to amaze you. Thanks a lot for allowing me to come into your home another morning.